stage, the Dave Hughes of Australia, it's Greg Larsen! Hello everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Greg Larsen. I got a long show prepared. I don't have time to build rapport. The show starts with a story that happened to me very, very recently. And I want to put a disclaimer on this story, right? I am not a hack. I am aware that this particular story starts in a similar way to many stories I have told on comedy stages around the country before. I'm aware of that. I'm aware that I've started at least one other show with a story that starts in the exact same way. That is just a coincidence. It's not that I can't think of any new ideas. It's just, what I'm saying is, if I were a professional fisherman, it would not be unusual for most of my stories to take place on a boat. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of who I am and the life I live. This is where a lot of interesting things happen to me. Okay. So the other day, I was in a drive-through McDonald's. The rumours are true! I'm a big boy, I love me Mackies! Evan, zoom in on me when I go... That'll spice in nice. I'm a big boy, I love my Mackies. I was in the drive-thru. I made my order in the drive-thru, as you do, in the speaker box. Outcast. Yeah. Why am I riffing in a taped special? It wasn't even a joke. I just said the name of a hip-hop group. It's not a gag. Shut up. I got heaps to do. I've gone to the order box and then I've driven up to the window where a teen pops out with an FPOS machine. And he looks at me, the teen with the machine, his little pencil-thin moustache. And he gave me a look and suddenly he goes, "Oh." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Are you Greg Larsen, the comedian?" And I went, "Oh, yeah." Here I am at one of my famous McDonald's trip. You could be here for the genesis of a joke. I'm not like a big famous man, but every now and again someone will recognise me and it makes me feel like I'm a big famous man and I love it. I'll pretend I don't, but I fucking love it. And he's recognised me as a comedian. I was like, oh my God, go on. And he went to hold out the FPOS machine and I tapped my card and then he said to me, he leans in and he goes, "Hey Greg, this is weird, but..." And I went, here we go. He wants a little selfie. He went, "Yeah, that'll happen. People will ask me for a selfie. Maybe they'll ask me to record a message that I send to their weird uncle. You know, congrats on getting out of jail." Maybe they'll, you know, like every now and again someone will go, "Hey, can you take your shoes off and get a video of you close up stepping on a Taco Bell beefy cheesy burrito so we see the chunks of beef squeeze through the big toe and the toe next to it?" And I'm like, yeah, it's cool because I don't have tinea anymore. And then I eat the burrito. Nom, 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 nom. So I think this kid is going to get me to get a selfie. Maybe he's going to get me to sign the McDonald's receipt so I can prove I was there. Yes, Geggy was here at McDonald's and he really did order 2 double quarter pounders and a 24-pack of chicken nuggets. And I'm waiting for him to ask for a selfie and he goes, "Hey Greg, this is weird, but..." And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "It says your card was declined." And I went from being like, to like, because then I realised, oh yeah, I forgot I'm a grub. You know, I forgot I'm a grub and I live the grub lifestyle, you know. And then I was like, fuck, why did my card get declined? I pulled out my phone and I checked the banking app. And the reason that the card was declined was because I had $7.23 in the account. And 2 double quarter pounders and a 24 pack of nuggets costs a lot more than that. I thought I had money in the account, but I thought that because I thought the Telstra bill was coming out next week, but they'd actually taken it out this week, and that because I was going to just pay for the McDonald's, and then when the bill got rejected, I'd go, oh, sorry, I don't know what happened there, and then just cancel my Telstra account and sign up with a new telco provider and dodge their calls for the next 2 years. That's what you do, right? But I didn't know. I didn't have a credit card. They wouldn't let me get one. I didn't have any savings. That's it. That was all the money I had. And I said, sorry. I couldn't think of an excuse. I just said, sorry, I don't have any money. And the teen went, oh, that's okay. It happens to the best of us. And then I drove off and he went, good luck. And I got home and I got depressed. I sat there, I thought about every job I've ever had in my life, how many hours I've worked, I thought about comedy, I thought about all the shows I've done, I thought about the awards and the fucking reviews that I've gotten, and I just thought, where's my fucking money? Where's my fucking money? So I went through, I have here every job I've ever done in my working career. I've written them all out. I want to go through them one by one and see what the fuck happened. How did it end up this way? How did I end up a broken man at 41 years old, not able to pay for 2 double quarter pounders and a 24 pack of nuggets? What went wrong? My first ever job that I had was at Kmart. I worked at Kmart, a retail job. I worked in the photo lab at Kmart. And I didn't realise when you work at a photo lab how much human shit you're going to have to clean up. It's not that much, but any amount is more than you think. In my first week at Kmart, a kid did a shit in the section I was working in. A kid did a full shit. And when I say kid too, I mean like a full shit and a full kid. It wasn't like a little kid, like a toddler or something. This kid was like 10. That's way too old to be doing shits in Kmart. Like, sort your life out, mate. This kid was like 10 years old. He was walking along with his mum. He was wearing shorts, and he literally just went like, ugh. And just, I saw it happen, and a nugget of shit fell out of his pants. He just sort of dropped, and it was like it was happening in slow motion. Like my whole reality was just crashing down around me, just watching this shit fall to the ground. And I swear to God, what this woman said next is 100% true, and it wrecked my life. This woman was holding her kid's hand. She looked at the kid, looked at the shit, and then looked at me and went, come on, the man will clean that up. And that was the first time in my life that I'd ever been called a man. Welcome to adulthood, welcome to work, here's some fucking shit. Kmart was shit. In the year 2000, I dropped out of high school. I didn't do year 12. I decided I don't want to be stuck in a dead-end career. I don't want to be working in fucking Kmart. I don't want to be working in retail. I'm going to go to TAFE and I'm going to learn a trade. So I went to TAFE in 2000, where I studied, and this is a true course that did happen at South Bank TAFE in Queensland. I studied Certificate 2 in music. So I could be a working man. I would describe the TAFE course, Certificate 2 in music, in a word, as relaxed. It was a relaxed learning environment. To give you an idea of what it was like, this is not a word of a lie. On the first day, we had a class with a teacher who was a blues musician, and I actually fucking loved this guy. He was a Brisbane legend. He was so fucking cool. His name was Blind Dog Donny. And he was fucking cool, man. He came in and he just burst into the room in like a whirlwind with his guitar, and he's just like, "Hey, cats, music, man. It's all about like improvisation. Let's just jam." And then he opened his guitar case and a joint fell out. And then we all sort of saw the joint and we were like, "Oh, well, you probably wouldn't mind if before we start we smoke a little bit of weed, would you, Donny?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm not your dad." So this is what happened. We all got stoned and smoked weed with Blind Dog Donny and jammed. And then a year passed and we all graduated TAFE. I am slightly exaggerating when I say that, but I'm genuinely sincere when I say that it was easy. There was in all of the year that I did at TAFE, there was one single piece of written assessment, only one piece of written assessment. And I didn't do it. I don't know what it was for. I didn't fucking do it. It was 2 weeks overdue. My teacher in that class came up to me and said, "Greg, you didn't do your written assessment." And this is literally what he said to me. He said, "If you tear out a page from an FHM magazine or a TV guide or a K-Zone, just anything that is paper with words on it, and you give it to me so I have that paper with words on it that I can put in a file, I will pass you." He literally did say that to me. And I didn't do it. And I still passed. Fuck you, TAFE. Fuck you, TAFE. Fuck you, tradies. No, please don't bash me. That was TAFE. So I graduated TAFE and I went straight into work for the dole. I was on the dole for a little while. I was doing the dole. I did work for the dole. There's not really anything funny in that. It's demoralising and it sucks. I did work for the dole. I did the dole. I did a bunch of shitty little jobs here and there, all kinds of stuff, helping my uncles paint houses for a bit, working at Crazy Clark's. There was one day though when I was doing job training, which is basically what happens is when you're on the dole, there's like these businesses called job network providers, and they are essentially, it's called a bribe. That what they do is they pay a bribe to the Liberal Party, which is like it's like a money laundering organisation. And job network providers will pay bribes to the Liberal Party, and then they help you look for work, and then they just get a bunch of money. And what happens is you do things like job training, where I just sit in an empty room while a guy looks at me for like a week, and that was my intensive job training. And I was doing that, and I was reading the newspaper, because you had to read the bloody newspaper back then. I was reading the newspaper, looking at job ads, and I saw a job ad that really jumped out at me. It really jumped out at me because of its simplicity. It was a short ad, and it just said, "Staff wanted. Must be able to type 40 words per minute or less." Which is not much. It said, "Must be familiar with Yahoo chat rooms and MSN Messenger." That was it. That was all the jobs. It's like staff needed, urgent, like blah, 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 call now. And I thought, this sounds like a scam. There's a lot of jobs where they're just scams, but I thought, I'll ring them up. I'm in the fucking room with the guy looking at me. Like, I have to do something to fill my days. And so I rang up. I talked to a woman on the phone. We'll call her Lucy, not her real name. And she was really vague, right? She wouldn't tell me what the job was. She was like, yeah, we're just this sort of company. We're in the city, like we're in the CBD. We got an office in the CBD. Why don't you just come in like right now for a chat? Just come in. And I'm sort of like beating around the bush a little bit because I don't have any like good interview clothes, right? I'm just in like shorts and like thongs and whatever. And like one time I did have an interview where I didn't have any like black shoes and I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I cut the tops off some black gumboots. And then I put my pants over them and I'm pretty sure they knew. So I didn't know, I was like, oh, you know, I don't know if I'm really ready to come in for an interview right now. And she was like, she knew what I was saying and she was like, don't worry, we're really chill here. Like, we don't care. Like, you don't need to bring a resume. Don't, just bring yourself. Like, wear shorts, wear a t-shirt. I don't give a shit. She said shit on the phone. I was like, this must be a cool office. So I went into this office in the CBD in Brisbane and I walked up the stairs and I got into the office and it was a cool office. It was one of these cool offices you see about on the news. And I went in there, there's bloody music playing, bloody Blink 182. It's, you know, there's like graffiti on the walls, there's a foosball table, there's all these, like, there's a young, diverse group of people all working on computers, all just wearing casual clothes with their feet up on the desk, you know, just typing away on their computers. There's beanbags and shit. I'm like, what is this office? This woman comes up to me, we'll call her Lucy, not her real name. And she, at the time, I'm about 20 years old, right? I'm about 20 years old. I'm a goth at the time. That's not really relevant, but I think it's pretty cool. And I'm a 20-year-old goth in black cargo shorts. It's my day off. And it's Queensland. You can't wear a trench coat every fucking day. I was in there and she was about, I reckon, like 45, right? So I'm about 20, she's about 45, and she goes, okay, hey Greg, how's it going? Take a seat. And she goes, so you're probably wondering what it is that we do here. And I said, that's the only thing I'm wondering. And she said, have you heard of the term cam girl? And I lied and said, no. Because I don't know, but there could be some other term that I'm not familiar with and this could be a wires crossed bad situation. I was like, I'm not familiar with that term. And then she goes, well, we make pornography here. And I said, yeah, okay, I know. And that's what she said. She said, we make pornography. We are a pornographic website. What happens is women will get on webcams, which was like very new. This was like cutting edge technology at the time. They'll get on webcams. They will show nudity. They'll show penetration. They'll have sex. They'll have threesomes. They'll toys, dildos, whatever. It's full, hardcore, penetrative, X-rated sex. It's pornography. Are you okay with that? Are you all right? You know, are you comfortable working in that kind of environment? I was like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm no prude, you know, I've done stuff before, like, I've looked up bloody pornos, you know, like, I'm bloody, you know, it's like, I'm a goth, I go to goth clubs, stuff happens, it's not like I've never, you know, met up with a goth couple on a chat room on IRC called Jesus is a Cunt, and then went to a graveyard where we smoked bongs together, and then went back to his place at Cleveland, and his mum was passed out on the couch after having spent all the money on pokies, and then me and the guy and the girl had a threesome in the garage next to a Toyota Corolla, and there was like a weird oil stain that I was trying to avoid. And the next day he gave me a lift to the train station. On the way to the train station, he told me in all sincerity that he believed that the Queen had been replaced with an alien reptile. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm up for stuff. I'm cool with whatever. And I said, I'm comfortable with that. Do you want me on the webcam? And she's like, no. Oh, God. No, she said, that all happens in America. Like, the actual porn doesn't even happen in this office. This is all this. She goes, what you would do is you would go onto Yahoo chat rooms, and like at the time, this was like the Wild West internet, like these chat rooms that were totally unmoderated. And you would go on there and you would pretend to be one of the girls on the webcam through text. And you would say stuff like, I'm horny, I want you to sign up. And you send a link, and every time they sign up, you get $25. She said, the catch is, that's the only pay you get. There's no hourly rate of pay, it's commission only, you get $25. And I said, oh, there's the fucking scam. I can't, like, commission only, I'm no good at sales, I can't fucking do it, I don't know what I'm doing. And she was like, well, why don't you just give it a try? Like, why don't you just do a trial shift, see how you like it? We're open 24 hours, like, you can work, choose your own hours. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. And then I sat down with my potential boss, Lucy, not her real name, and she ran me through the onboarding process. And it was weird. Up until that point, I thought, I'm pretty cool with whatever, but now it started to feel weird because I didn't feel particularly horny. This is just a nice office workplace setting, and she's going, okay, first of all, you're going to have to come up with a username, okay? And she said, a lot of guys will come up with a username that's very coy, very, they try to be like seductive. They'll have names like, Fallen Angel or Erotic Princess. And she said, that does not work. She said, if you want to move units... She said, you have to be explicit. You have to be filthy. That's what gets the sales. And now she told me what her username is. And now I can't get in trouble for repeating this because this is her username. She came up with it, that she's the boss. She was my boss. I can't get in trouble for saying what she said. She said, my username, for example, is fuck_my_sluthole. She looked at me and she said, what would be a good username for you? And now I felt really weird. I felt prudish now. I felt really reserved. I was like, this is a workplace setting. I can't be saying this kind of stuff around a boss. Like, I can't do this. But it's not like I'm not a prude. I've done stuff before. It's not like I've never, smoked meth for 3 days straight with my ex, and then on the third day she lubed up a cucumber with margarine and shoved it up my arse. I'm no shrinking violet. So I thought, I got to leap in with both feet. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So she said, what's your username? And I said, this is really what I said. You can get me in trouble for saying this. I was on the spot. I didn't know what to do, and I just panicked. And these are the actual words that came out of my mouth. She said, "What's a username?" And I said, and she said, it helps. She also said it helps if they're like a 3-word phrase. It's just catchy like that, right? And I was just like, okay. And then I was like, fuck my slut hole. Okay. And this is the real username. I said, swollen. Pussy whore? And she looked at me and she said, that's perfect. I'm a wordsmith. And so I signed up, Swollen Pussy Whore. I was really nervous. And now I'm in this public sort of chat room, this unmoderated chat room. She's telling me what to... She's going like, you got to say you're horny. And I'm like, okay. And it felt so weird. I'm like, I'm really horny. And she's like, say like you're wet. And I'm like, oh, jeez, I'm wet. I'm friggin' wet over here. Sorry, by the way, if I ever look weird in this direction, it's the camera behind. It's fun to me to barrel the camera sometimes. I'm not... Anyway. Stop it. I'm just typing like, oh, I'm so wet and horny. I'm looking for you. I'm like, does anyone want to look at my webcam? And then I got a private message from a gentleman from overseas. And he said, I would love to see your webcam. And I sent him a link. And then he signed up. And I made $25 like that. And then another guy said, I would love to see your webcam. And I sent him a link. This is like 3 minutes later. He signed up. $25 like that. In 7 minutes, I made $50. That was the best rate of pay I've ever received before or since. And it was at that moment that I knew why I was put on this earth. We all have a calling, and mine was swollen pussy whore. I fucking loved it. I took that job immediately. It was the best job I ever had. I was fucking good at it. I liked it. I did it for me. I was good at it. You know what I mean? I was just fucking making money hand over fist. I'm just fucking getting the sign-ups. If this was a movie about my life, this would be the Goodfellas montage, where it was like, we had the world at our feet, everything was going our way, it's like the music's playing, I'm walking up into the office, everyone's like, hey, it's swollen pussy whore. I'm drinking goon at work, I'm talking Fruity Lexia, baby, it was fucking great. And I'll never forget, because I learned real stuff. This was the university of life. Forget your fancy schools. Forget your bloody fancy school. I learned real stuff there, right? Like one time I was there, and this is like when I was like fully into it. I'm like fucking Neo in the Matrix at this point. I got like 4 screens in front of me. I got all these keyboards around me. I'm fucking just like, yeah, suck on my titties, suck on my pussy. Yeah, I got a pretty swollen clit. Yeah, it's actually fucking horny as love anal. Are you guys laughing because this looks fucking cool? I'm fucking seeing the Matrix, right? I'm doing really well. And I get a pop-up from a guy who says, it says like, you know, I can't remember his name, like Big Dick 86 or whatever the fuck it was. So Big Dick 86 would like you to view his webcam. And I was going to click no because like obviously he's just going to be wanking, right? Like that's like, obviously that's what's going to happen. I don't have time to fucking watch him wank. I've got like 6 guys on the go, right? I'm trying to make those fucking sales. And my boss happens to be walking past at the time, and she sees that I'm about to click no, and she's like, no. Always click yes. Always. And I said, why? Teach me. And she said, because when you click, yes, he will be wanking, obviously. That's what he's going to be doing. But you work in porn, you get used to it. She said, the thing is, when he's wanking, when he's got his dick out and showing you his dick, you're going to be able to see, is he getting his credit card out? Is he actually signing up to the website, or is he wasting your time? Because a lot of guys will waste your time. And I was like, that's using the old noggin. Very smart. So I clicked yes to view his webcam. And he was holding the webcam down low, below his dick and balls. And the moment that I pushed accept, that must have sent him over the edge. Because he just started coming directly on the webcam. Oh, fucking grow up! Fucking sitting there groaning. Some of us have to work for a fucking living. While you're sitting there in your fucking ivory towers and your fancy arts degrees. Meanwhile, I'm out there at the cum factory, slogging it out, day in, day out, trying to fucking pay for your fucking doll money. Sorry, that was my dad talking. So anyway, he's coming on the webcam, right? I'm talking thick, globby cum. He's shooting away, and then he fills the webcam up with cum, and then he starts rubbing the head of his penis, the dick head, as some would call it. He starts rubbing it in spirals around the webcam. Now the webcam's all greasy with cum. I can't see for the cum. I'm peering through the cum going, I can't tell if he's getting his credit card out. And my boss was eating a sandwich. She didn't miss a beat. She's seen it all before. She's eaten an egg and lettuce triangle. And she just, without missing a beat, she just goes, he's a lost cause, he's already come. Move on. And that is the university of life. had that job for about 3 months until they shut down Yahoo chat rooms altogether. Apparently there was a lot of porn on there. And neo-Nazis. I had a job after that. I had another retail job at a place called Wow Sight and Sound. Wow Sight and Sound were a bad company. I'm pretty sure I can say that because I think the guys that ran it are dead. Either way, they were fucked. They stolen wages, didn't pay super, no overtime, just a fucking another bullshit fucking company. I hated working at Wow Sight and Sound. It was a shit job. And also it made me hate humanity even more. Like, again, like, before I worked in like retail, and before I worked in a large electronics retailer, if you had asked me like, how many people would just openly spit on the floor inside a shop, and how many people would do a shit on the wall of the outside wall of the building, I would have said none. But it was 12 and 3. I had this job at Wow Sight and Sound. I hated it. I hated my boss. I hated the job. It was long hours, shit pay. I remember one day there was a massive hailstorm. The biggest hailstorm I've ever seen in my life, literally. And it was pounding on the roof. It was the evening, and it was pounding on the roof. It sounded like machine guns going off. It was that loud. It was crazy. Outside, it looked like snow, like up to your knees. It was insane. And at a certain point, water started pouring in through a light fixture in the roof of the store. And then like another light fixture, and then another light fixture. And I was looking at the water coming through an electrical light fixture. And I was like, I'm not like an electric no stuff guy. I don't know about all those wires and shit. But that seems like a bad deal, right? And I said to my boss, hey, there's water coming in through multiple light fixtures. Should we maybe not be open now? And my boss, and just for reference too, my boss in his spare time was an Elvis impersonator. And that's not relevant to the story, it's just shorthand for me to say he was a cunt, right? And he said, no, put a bucket down, let's keep the sales going, boys, come on! Keep the sales going. He was running up and down the aisles like a general at war, just going, push the sales, push the extended warranties, let's go, make some money. And I was like, who the fuck are we selling to? It's like 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night. The only people in the store were the weird plasma dads, which, if anyone who ever worked at like a JB Hi-Fi circa 2005-6 would know, there was always just dads milling around the plasma section, just going on about plasma technology, just going like, oh, LCD, no, plasmas. And you'd go up to them and you'd try and sell them a plasma, but they don't want a plasma. They already own 4 plasmas. They have them all in their man cave. They just like to hang out in the plasma section because they want to talk to someone about plasmas for 40 minutes because they don't want to go home because they hate their family. So I'm like, who are we going to sell to? And then, like, I remember this next 5 minutes so vividly. I was walking through the computer department and I looked up at the roof of Wow Sight and Sound and I saw a crack appear in the roof. Like before my eyes, it went like down like that. And I literally just went, everyone get the fuck out. And I started running and then a huge chunk of the roof just sort of swung in, smashed into all these computers. Then like everyone's going, fuck, and then I'm just running out the store. Another chunk of roof comes in, smashes into the big stand-up of plasma TVs. The dads are wailing. And we're all just running out of the store, just like me and the plasma dads, all these beer bellies tucked into polo shirts. Just like this, like it's like the shittest Indiana Jones you've ever seen. And we got out of the store just in time to turn around and see the entire roof collapse in, completely destroying like over $1 million worth of electronic equipment. Just absolutely destroyed in an instant like that. It was crazy. And I just remember that so vividly because out of every retail job that I've ever had, that was the only good day. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. My first thought was, I'm going to get a week off work for sure. Like, I was so happy. I got to see my manager cry. That was funny. It was funny. He drove a Mercedes. I got to see him cry in his Mercedes. What a treat. I caught the bus home smiling all the way. I had a job after that at the Visitor Information Centre in Southbank Parklands in Brisbane. Worked at the Visitor Information Centre in Brisbane. That was an all right job. It was a very easy job. It was a very, very easy job. Because this was like, I think, 2007 when I started this job. In 2007, the internet did exist. It was firmly entrenched in our society. And working in a Visitor Information Centre in the new millennium was a kind of a redundant position. Google existed. People didn't need that much information. So anytime someone did come in, I'd just type exactly what they say into Google and then just read it back to them. Right? I was a professional Googler. I was the first AI. The G in ChatGPT stands for Giggy. I hate that joke. But it gets a laugh. We would get asked dumb questions all the time. Like, I remember a guy once came in, and he came in as an American guy, right? And this American guy came in, and he comes in and goes, "Hey, what's the latitude here in Brisbane? What's the latitude?" And without missing a beat, I just went 62. And he went, "Oh, okay," and then he walked out. And I don't know if 62 was the correct latitude. I don't even know if 62 is a number you can use to denote latitude. I don't know if it needs a decimal place. I don't even know if latitude is that one or that one. But he seemed happy, and I was happy that he was out of my life. But the visitor centre, that was a pivotal moment in my life, right? I was at uni at the time as well. I was like, I'm going to get a real fucking job. Fuck this. I tried to riff and I fucked it up. Actually, no, leave it in. I want to learn. I want to leave in all my mistakes. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, well, I was at uni, right? I was like, I'm going to get a real job. I'm going to get an arts degree. I studied sociology and German. Ich lerne not much. But while I was at the visitor centre, I met a man named Henry Stone, who became a very, very good friend of mine. Henry was a film student. He was cool, and I was really into like comedy. I was thinking about being a sketch comedian. I was thinking, oh, that'd be cool. I'll make sketch comedy. And he was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make sketch comedy too. And so I groomed him, right? I was like, he was a bit younger than me, so I groomed him up. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll groom him, because that's how you make a friend, right? You groom him. Like that's how you get him. Like you sort of groom him up, and I groomed him up a treat. And we decided we're going to make sketches together. We're going to make YouTube sketches together, right? And we made a sketch. With the help of my other friend named Luke, we decided we were going to make a sketch, and we made a little comedy sketch, and we uploaded it, and we thought it was pretty funny. And then we said, why don't we make this official? Why don't we start a sketch group and give ourselves a name and everything? And my friend Luke said, why don't we call ourselves the Mixed Nuts? And then me and Henry had a secret second meeting where we said, Luke's out. I feel bad because that is how it went down, but... Sorry, Luke. But we started making sketches together, and we both started doing stand-up comedy. We both started doing stand-up comedy, right? And I was really, I was so nervous doing stand-up comedy. I remember my first gig so vividly. I couldn't believe that I actually had the guts to get up there on stage. I was so scared. I remember I was like, wow, I'm part of the arts community. I'm part of the performing arts. I remember being at this gig, just standing there with the spotlight in my face with this pokies den. And there's 7 people in the audience, and from the other room I hear ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding, because someone hit a feature on a pokey machine called Oriental Delight. and the greyhounds are on the TV behind me because they don't turn the doggies off for no one. And I'm there on stage while an old man's going, come on, you cunt! And I was like, I was really nervous and I was brand new, but I'm a white guy and I was like in my early 20s at the time. So yeah, I was trying to be like a shock comedian and I was doing a joke. I don't even know what the fucking point of the joke was, but it was me going, hey guys, I wonder which one would be the best dwarf of the 7 dwarves to finger? You know what I'm fucking talking about, motherfuckers? It was fun to tread the boards. And I remember I was doing comedy for about a year in the open mic scene in Brisbane, and me and Henry decided we were going to enter this competition called the Raw Comedy Competition. Raw Comedy Competition is this national competition where you enter in different cities, and if you win in the state, you go to the final in Melbourne, right? We entered this comedy competition, and I was backstage, and I saw all the other open mic comedians that I'd been gigging with for the last year, and there was one guy that I didn't recognise, a comedian who I'd never seen before, and his name was Sam Campbell. And judging by the titters of laughter, you might know of him. He's doing very well now. He's over in the UK, he's on all the panel shows, hanging out with bloody Jimmy Carr or whoever they are. Good on you, Sam! Reply to my WhatsApp! Sam was there in the room, he was sitting on the floor. He was 18 at the time, he did not look a day over 12. And he was sitting on the floor with shorts on and he was reading a novel. And when I leaned in to see what the novel was, it was Silence of the Lambs. And I remember just leaning in going, who are you, mate? Where's your dad? And he said his name was Sam. And I said, where are you from? He said, Rockhampton. And he said this was his second ever gig. And I looked at him and I thought, this cunt's gonna die. And me and Henry watched from the back of the room because we were like, it's fun to see someone bomb hard. And we watched him and he killed it. He was funny from the very beginning. He had funny bones. He was easily the best on the night. And me and Henry just watching him in awe of this great comic mind, just watching him going, fuck, he's good, he's new, he's funny. Let's groom him. Because Henry's into grooming now, right? That's how you get it. Once you groom up one, you get your tentacles out and you can start grooming up a whole mess of them. And we're like, we're going to groom him up. So we groomed him up nice. We made him join our sketch group. Our sketch group, by the way, was called Skills in Time. I don't know what that means. Mixed nuts was better. Sorry, Luke. We all lived together. We moved in together in a big share house. We called it the Nunnery. The reason that we called it the Nunnery is because it used to be a nunnery. I don't know how else to describe it. It was a huge house where nuns used to live, and Sam lived in a room called the Enema Room. And the reason that we called it the Enema Room was because it had all these cupboards labelled enema equipment on them. And I have not read the Bible, but how many enemas does one nun need? What are they doing, these dirty, dirty nuns? And we're doing comedy in Brisbane. I'm loving it. It was it was so wild. It was such a wild time. We're doing comedy. I remember we'd be going to all the open mic shows. They were always so fucked. They're so weird. There would always be these old road dog MCs that were real gruff and bitter and hated the industry. I remember this one guy, right? I actually loved this guy. He was a legend. He would come in late all the time. One time he was hosting an open mic show and he came in late. He was like 10 minutes late to the show. The show was supposed to start. The sound guy was like, mate, you're late. You've got to get on stage. And he had a container of Chinese takeaway. And he was like, mate, can I have my fucking dinner first? And he goes, no, you've got to get on the stage. The show was late. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then he put his Chinese down, got up on the stage and went, all right, welcome to comedy. Your first act is Joe Smith. And then walked off the stage and just sat there and ate his fried rice while an open micer in his first ever gig just bombed on the stage. And he wasn't even sitting far away. He was like there, just like half in the spotlight, eating his fried rice, going, this is fucking shit. So me and Henry and Sam, we're making comedy together, we're making sketches and all this kind of stuff, and we decide, around this time I also graduated university, so that was cool. I graduated uni, I finished my honours degree in sociology, and then immediately went onto the Centrelink website. Don't laugh, because I was on there to cancel my Austudy payments and begin my New Start payments. And I thought, I'm on the dole, I'm doing nothing, I'm a university graduate, what better time than now to go down to Melbourne and make a huge financial commitment by doing a show at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. And we decided we were going to do a group show, a play, a show all together. It was going to be me, Sam, Henry, and we got another guy called Damien Power, who's a good friend of mine, great comedian. And we decided we were going to do a play. And the play nearly didn't happen. There was actually a problem right before it happened. We were playing backyard cricket, which I never do. I've never played backyard cricket before, and I never will again. Because there was this one Sunday we were playing backyard cricket, and I thought, I'll give it a go. And then I got up and immediately got hit in the nuts. Hard. I got hit in the nuts hard, and I fell to the ground. It fucking hurt. And then as soon as I landed on the ground, I realised I'd landed in a bull ant's nest. And then I'm freaking out, I'm getting bitten by all these ants and I'm fucking going crazy. This ant's biting me. And I will admit that from a distance, in retrospect, a fat man getting hit in the nuts and then falling on an ant's nest is objectively very funny. My friends were all correct in laughing at me, right? Especially when I'm dragging myself into the kiddie pool we had set up and splashing water on my ant bites. But the problem is, and the problem that nut havers will know, is that when you get hit in the nuts, it hurts a lot, and then eventually the pain will subside and things will go back to normal. But 2 hours later, it was hurting more. It was hurting a lot more. I was writhing in agony, and then I had a check, and then I went to my other housemate, who was actually a student nurse at the time, and I said to him, hey, medical question, if you have a nut the size of a grapefruit, is that bad? And he said, that's bad. And they called an ambulance and got me in the ambulance, and they gave me the green whistle. I was getting high in the ambulance. They're going, we got a man with a big old busted nut here. I get to the emergency room. The emergency room is packed. It's absolutely packed. And here's a little bit of a hot tip. If you have a nut the size of a grapefruit, they rush you through. It was silver service. And it's not because of the patriarchy. They told me it's a time-sensitive issue. When it gets that big, there's a danger it could pop. And you can't have a career in comedy with one pop nut. It's the last form of racism. Anyway, my nut did not pop. It was fine. It went back down. And then we went to the Melbourne Comedy Festival. And in retrospect, I wish my nut had popped. Melbourne Comedy Festival was a financial and critical failure. We had a terrible time. We did a show. No one liked it. It was going badly. There was this thing, right? There was this moment on stage. I don't have time to explain the show to you, right? It was a comedy play. I don't have time to explain the plot line. But there was one scene in the show where I had to suck Damien Power's dick on stage, so I would become better at bush poetry, right? In the context of the show, it all makes sense. And every night, and it would happen, I would do it like a full minute, right? Where I wouldn't actually suck his dick, I'd simulate it. And I'd have my back to the audience, and I'd sort of lean down, and I'd just go like, for a full minute. Well, he would just stand with his hands on his hips, right? And for some reason, every time we did this bit, it just bombed. Like, I was like, what is wrong with Melbourne? Do they not get jokes? Like, I don't understand. We knew it was funny. We trialled the show out. We'd done a trial show in Brisbane and it killed. I say it killed, we did a trial show in our shed at the nunnery to an audience of one, and that one person was comedian Ronnie Chang. Who's also doing quite well now. We performed the show for him and he sat there and watched it for an hour in silence, and at the end he went, yeah, it's funny, bro. So we knew we were onto a winner. But then, towards the end of the festival, we found out that the director of the festival, the actual big cheese herself, the CEO or whatever it is, the director of the comedy festival was coming to watch our show. And we didn't know why. We're like, why the fuck is she coming? No one's coming to this show. It's a failure. The reviews are bad. This show is bad. Why? We didn't want her to come, but we're like, oh, we're embarrassed. And then we had an emergency meeting where we're like, we got to change the dick suck scene. People hate this fucking scene. And we decided it was probably because it was too like lads humor, like, oh, it's the boys sucking each other's dicks. And then I'll never forget, like, I love Damien Power, but I'll never forget when he looked at me, and in all seriousness, in all earnestness, he said, what if, instead of sucking my dick, you ate my pussy? And I just remember staring Damien Power directly in the face, and I said, mate, that is perfect. And that's what we really did do. And Damien sat on a chair, he put his legs up in the air, and then I got on my hands and knees and went like that, while he said, like, yeah, eat my fucking pussy. And it still didn't work. Like, don't you understand jokes in Melbourne? Don't you get it? I went back to Queensland after this performance. I went back on the dole. I was on the dole the whole time. I had a couple of jobs here and there. I kept getting temp jobs. I had one temp job at Centrelink. I worked in a Centrelink call centre for like 2 months. And then they were like, oh, thanks for your service, see you later. Like, it was a temp job. And then when I went back on the dole, I was talking to the guy on the phone. He was like, what was your last job? And I said, fucking you, cunt. That was the Centrelink job. Then we decided, let's do another show at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. The first one went so well, we're going to do another one at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. And we said, the first one obviously was a failure. It was too obscure, it was too niche. Let's do another one. We'll make a play. This time it's got to be like pop culture, like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, something people can, get behind. So we said, let's do a comedy play. This was me, Sam and Henry, and we'll make it something with a pop culture hook. So we decided to do a play about the time that Russian chess grandmaster Garry Kasparov was beaten by a computer named Deep Blue. And I played the computer, except a computer wouldn't read, so I just was a robot and I painted myself blue every night, and it wasn't worth it. It was another financial critical failure. It was a big failure. The blue paint was expensive. People hated it. No one came. On one night, Henry got desperate and he emailed all these chess clubs going like, come to the show. Also, we called the show Chessmates, and I still am so mad that it's not Checkmates. And he emailed all these chess groups to say, like, come to the show, come and watch this show, right? And one night, a chess family came. A full family, a mum, a dad, and all these kids. And some of the kids were quite young. They were rooting like rabbits, these chess... I didn't know chess nerds rooted at all. And there was this whole family, right, with all these little kids. And I had to go out at the start and go, hey, I'm sorry, there's been a miscommunication here. This show is not for kids. This is not okay. And the mum goes, oh, that's okay, they love chess. And I was like, there is very little chess in this show. And she's like, oh, it's all right. We let him watch The Simpsons. And I said, I'm just warning you, this is an MA, if not R-rated show. And she said, you have our permission. And we went, okay. And then fast forward about half an hour into the show, I'm doing a comedy rap where I'm waving around a double-ended dildo. I'm going, if you got a pussy, then show me your pussy. If you got a pussy, then show me your pussy. And the mum stood up and went, nah, and then got all the kids, and they just like filed out in a line. And I'm just watching my entire audience leave. Just going, I'm really sorry, you can get a refund on the way out. Failure. I then got a job. I decided I was going to move to Melbourne, right? I decided if I'm going to be on the dole in Queensland, I might as well be on the dole in Melbourne, where the magic happens. And I got a job at a superannuation company in Melbourne in a call centre, right? It was the first job I'd had in a long time that wasn't a fucking temp job. It was an actual permanent, full-time job. I had like a 2-month probation period, but it was like a proper job in this call centre. I thought, fuck it, I'll do it. I was turning 30. The comedy's not working out. I'm going to do this fucking job. And I remember being depressed. Fuck, I was depressed in that job. I fucking hated that job. I remember at one point, I actually had to have a meeting with my team leader and the floor manager because they had been timing how long I was spending on the toilet. And together we had a meeting where we had to discuss ways to reduce my toilet time. I called Lifeline that night. I mean, you have to. When you're having a meeting with your team leader and you're going like, oh yeah, and she's like 26 and you're 30 and you're just going, yeah, I guess I could try some Metamucil. It's like, you got to call Lifeline. There is no God. I hated that fucking job. It's fucking, and this is also another thing too. There's a little bit of a side note, but fucking, I reckon that all toilets should just be banned. Like public toilets, get rid of them, ban them from all. Like it is disgusting that in your work, in your place of work, in a professional setting, there is a room where co-workers will go in as professional employees and sit next to each other in a line and just do shits. They just sit next to each other and they do shits together in the office, and there's a bit of plywood there. That does nothing. That does nothing. I can hear everything. I can smell everything. It's just shitting in a line, and then they're like, yeah, but you still got to wear a tie. Like, you still got to wear a tie. Your boss will come up to you and is like, have you got those reports? Have you got that Excel spreadsheet? And it's like, I've heard what it sounds like when your asshole opens up and shit comes out of it. We're all just monkeys in a zoo. I hated that fucking job. There was a guy that was a big gym junkie. He would just go to the gym all the time and then fall asleep at his desk and then wake up and just eat chicken. I hated that fucking job, but then I decided, like, look, comedy's going nowhere. I need a fucking career. Maybe superannuation is my fucking career. I was like, I've got to prove myself. I've got to excel. I've got to rise through the ranks. Because that's what you hear. That's the story you hear, right? Is like, you know, your parents' generation, your grandparents' generation. It's like you start in the mailroom, you work your way up, you become the boss of the company, right? It's this rags to riches story. Work hard, dedication. That's how you rise through the ranks. And for a moment, for a millisecond, I believed that was true. And I thought, how am I going to stand out? How am I going to rise through the ranks? I want to be team leader. I want to be CEO. I thought, you know what? I've got an honours degree. I've studied sociology. I've got a critical mind. I'm going to see everything that's wrong with this office. I'm going to see everything that's wrong with this office, all the inefficiencies, all the ways that things are going wrong. I'm going to note them down. I'm going to make a big document. And I did. I made a big document of all the things that I thought could be improved, all the problems. I just listed every single problem in the fucking office, and I sent it off to the bosses. I sent it off to them, and they called me into a meeting where they fired me. That's not that funny, but it's true. They did. They fired me. They called me into a meeting. I was still in the probation period, and they were just like, I saw it as being proactive. They saw it as complaining. They were like, what are you complaining? You say all these problems. No one else has a problem. You're just complaining about everything. The time that it took you to write this list, you should have been on the phones. We've seen your KPIs. They're not that great. You're always on the toilet. You're still in the probation period. You're not a good fit here. You're fired. And I was fired. I was fired from that job. And that's because I believed the fucking lie. It's a bullshit myth that you can somehow start in the mailroom and work your way up to become the CEO. No, if you start in the mailroom, you die in the mailroom. The only way that you become CEO of a major company or any company is because your daddy was best friends with the previous CEO because they went to an elite private boys' school together where they all played Soggy Sayo. But just for, FYI, Soggy Sayo is a game where... Well, I have to explain it. Soggy Sayo is a game where it happens at private elite boys' schools where all the boys will stand around and they have like a Sayo cracker on the ground. Or you can use a Jats. It doesn't have to, And what they'll do is they'll all stand around in a circle and they'll masturbate and try and ejaculate onto the cracker, right? So the cracker gets filled up with cum. And then the game is that the person who ejaculates onto the cracker last is the one that has to eat the cracker, right? That's the game, Soggy Sayo. And it's a very difficult game because obviously You want to eat the cracker, right? You want to eat the cracker, that's your golden ticket, that's your flavour country. But the problem is, you're getting so horny thinking about gobbling up all that cum that you shoot early and you're like, oh, God damn it! And then the person that wants to eat it least is the person that gets to eat it every time. So I was fired from that job for speaking truth to power. And because I stole a full computer. And that's intermission. So the year is 2013. I've just been fired from Super... I was going to say the name of the company. It's 2013. I've just been fired from a superannuation company. I was 30 years old, comedy had gone nowhere, I was back on the dole, and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And then I realised, hang on, I can kill myself. It's been staring me in the face the whole time. Disclaimer, check on your mates, call Lifeline, there's help out there. Obviously I didn't do it, I'm fucking thriving, mate. I'm living proof that you can come back from anything. This is dark, but, you know, don't worry about it. We'll get through it together. I genuinely was in a really bad place, and I was going to kill myself, and I decided that I was going to basically have a blowout, right? I decided, like, if I'm going to do it, I might as well go, you know, go crazy, right? And because I had worked at a superannuation company, I knew that if you're on the dole for a certain amount of time, you can withdraw a certain amount of super early due to financial hardship. And I knew that I met that threshold, and I knew that I was entitled to withdraw about $5,000 from my superannuation, which is about all I had. And I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to withdraw the $5,000. I'm going to have a big, bloody, fun time. And it was quite easy, right? All you do, like, to withdraw, to do the application, I just had to fill out some paperwork. I had to send it off. Then they had to have a phone call because they lost the paperwork, and then I had to resend the paperwork. And then they were like, "You got to fax it." I'm like, "What are you talking about, fax? I don't understand why there's a fax machine." And you got to get a stat deck, and I'm not sure what I need the stat deck for. And you're doing all this paperwork. It's going back and forth. Then after about a month of back and forth with paperwork and bureaucracy, you cry on the phone and you say, "If I can't pay my rent this month, I'm going to kill myself." And then the woman fast tracks it for you because she feels really bad, and then the super is in your account the very next day, but then 2 days after that, 2 police turn up at your door and say, "We're here to do a welfare check." You know, it's a simple process. Which, by the way, is all true, and the police did do a welfare check 2 days after I said it. What are they sitting back going, "Let's see what he does with it"? Fucking ACAB. I decided I was going to kill myself. But before I did, it was time to do one last comedy festival show. That's true. So what happened, right? So this is this is sort of like a behind the curtain of doing comedy. When you do the comedy festival, the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, if you do a show, you get a thing called a festival pass. And that means you can go to see any show you want for free. It also means there's like a VIP bar you can go to. It means you can get cheap drinks and free drinks on some nights. And so I was like, me and my friends were like, I didn't tell them I was going to, this was going to be the last one for me, but I was like, let's just put on a show in just some pub somewhere. Put no effort in whatsoever. We'll get a festival pass. We were just like, we got to get a festival pass, right? We want to get a festival pass so we can. And I was just going to party for the month. It's a great party. You're hanging out with people. I'm going to have a big blowout, then see you later. That was my plan. It was genuinely my plan. And because we didn't give a shit and we were just fucking around, we did this show in this pub. We didn't really plan it out. We just called it the Fancy Boy Variety Show. We had no posters, no marketing material of any kind. It was just upstairs in this dingy pub. And because I didn't give a shit, I just went, I'm just going to do all these fuck characters that I've been too afraid to do before. Things that are just really dumb and weird. Like I did a character called Mr. Cum, who is just me with a shirt that says Mr. Cum in like Sharpie pen written on it, and I had a dildo hanging out of my pants. And I just read poems about suicide. And then I drank fake cum, right? It's like high level shit. Like I did a character called Jimmy Bubbles, who was like a parody song artist, except the twist was that his son had died like an hour before the show. But he was like, the show must go on. And we performed that show in the upstairs of a pub where we thought no one would come, and we won a fucking award. We did. This show was a massive hit. It was a huge hit. It was like literally, we sold out every single night. Then we had to add like 13 extra shows. Every one of those shows sold out. It was standing room only. People fucking loved it. A few people hated it. There were some walkouts, but they gave us their money. And we won an award. We won an award. We got great reviews. We won an award. It was a massive success no matter which way you slice it. And suddenly I was feeling pretty good. And I remember at the time, Sam Campbell, my friend, he was living in Sydney at the time, and he was on the dole as well. He's doing all right now. And he wasn't doing the comedy festival that year, and we asked him if he wanted to be in this Fancy Boy Variety Show, but he was like, nah, I don't want to be in some fuck around show with Mr. Cum. And so he didn't do it, right? And then he came down to hang out for a week, and he watched it, and I think he was a bit jealous at how well it was going and successful. And also, and this is true, me and Sam actually got into a fight. We had a real proper argument because he thought I'd ripped off his idea for one of the sketches. And I maintain that it was a joint idea that we came up with together when we were on the phone one day riffing, and we came up with this idea for a sketch. And I say it's both of our ideas. And I asked him if he wanted to be in the show, and he said no. So I felt like, I'm allowed to do it. Anyway, the sketch was a sketch where a woman's giving birth, but the baby gets stuck because it has a massive boner, right? And I'm the doctor, so I have to go in and jerk the baby off so it can come out. Don't get mad at me. Sam fucking wrote it. I don't write that shit. I'm sorry, Sam. But that show was a big hit, right? Didn't make heaps of money, but like didn't make really much money at all when I was still on the dole. But you know, it was like people were taking notice. Suddenly, like, oh, I could have a career in comedy, maybe. And I got asked to be on a TV show, and I thought, this is my big break. I naively thought, this is it. Once you get asked to be on a TV show, you're fucking in. I've broken that. So I get offered this job on a TV show called Dirty Laundry Live on the ABC, right? And I think this is my big break. I was like, it's the ABC. Once you're in, you can never get out. Like once it, like, who the fuck's Annabelle Crabb? No one knows. But she's on the TV every night having a white wine with Peter Dutton and normalising fascism, right? Like once you're in the ABC, you're in. You've fucking got a job for life. So I was wrong about that. But I went in there, I thought, oh, you're in the money now. You're in there, you got that sweet television money. But when I got this job, I was in there for one day a week doing like a pre-taped package for the show. It was a live panel show, and I was doing like a pre-taped little segment. And the amount of money they were paying me was enough that when I reported it to the dole, they were like, oh, you can still have a bit of dole. Like, you can still be on the dole a bit. And so I still had to go to, like, job network meetings and stuff, and I'd be in there with all these other blokes, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm on the telly. And they're like, yeah. And I was on this segment, and it was also a rude awakening because I thought, oh yeah, I'm funny, I'm good. People will love it. And they get on there. People hated me. And they took to Twitter to express their hatred. They hated me. They loved the show. They hated me. They referred to me as the piss break because it was a, you know, ABC doesn't have any ads. People would go, oh, piss break's on. Time for a fucking oh, piss break. They called me piss break was my nickname. And I was like, joke's on you. I'm a fucking grub. I love it. So that was shit. I remained on the dole. I did some more dole. I had a job briefly at a company called Man with a Van, doing removals, and I had when I say briefly, I mean 4 days. I was there for 4 days. And because the thing is, you have to wear a shirt that says Man with a Van on it. And I was too embarrassed because I was too fat for the biggest shirt they had. And so I just wore like a plain black t-shirt. And then one day the big boss saw me. He's like, you have to wear the Man with a Van shirt. You have to be here tomorrow with the Man with a Van shirt. And I was too embarrassed to say, oh, I'm too fat for your biggest shirt. So I just quit. Fuck. That's supposed to be funny. Well, so you didn't have that reaction when I said I was going to kill myself. Fucking hell. Maybe I could just become a funny face comedian. So I was on the dole for a bit. But then something amazing happened. We got offered a Fancy Boy TV series. The Fancy Boy live show that was a hit, it's now going to be a TV series on the ABC. And this time they paid me enough money that I could get off the dole. I was so excited. I called up the dole and I was like, I quit. I'm fucking done. You'll never see me again. Spoiler alert, they would. But they paid me heaps, like, not heaps, but they paid me all right. Like, it was great. They were like, you know, it's full-time work, a TV show, you get to be involved, like, you get to write and act in it. Like, it's like, we're going to give you, like, 14 weeks of full-time work, and we'll pay you for, like, 10 of those weeks. And I was like, can I get paid for the full 14 weeks? And they're like, nah, and you can't tell anyone. And I was like, okay. And then they mustn't have had the budget to advertise it or anything like that because no one saw it, and they released it at Christmas and it was never seen by anyone and just kind of went away, and I went back on the dole, but that's all right. I'm not bitter about it. So then after the TV series, I did have a bit of dole time. I sheepishly had to go back in and have a little bit of dole time. And that was one of the weirdest years of my life, right? Because I'd just been on a TV series. No one saw it. I was on the dole, but we got nominated for an Australian Writers Guild Award for Best Sketch Comedy. And so I, whilst on the dole, flew down up to Sydney. It was ritzy. It wasn't at the casino, but it was near the casino. And I went to this award ceremony with all these celebrities. The cast of Neighbours were there. It was crazy, right? We're at this award ceremony, and then we won the award. We won the award for Best Sketch Comedy, and I walked up on the stage. It was great. But, like, technically, I didn't win the award personally because I was not a member of the Writers Guild, right? I wasn't. You could only win the award if you were a member of the guild. Henry was a member of the guild, and so but I was like, fucking, I wrote the fucking episode that was nominated. I'm getting up on the fucking stage. Fuck that. And so I got up on the stage, and Henry made a speech before me, and the only thing he said was, hey, Greg's not a member of the guild. And then he made the whole audience chant, scab, 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 scab. And they all chanted scab and booed me. And my speech was, this is the worst fucking night of my life. And then me and Henry went back to our table, and then, because they had like a screen up beside the award ceremony where they said, tweet in with like hashtag, you know, Writers Guild, and hopefully your tweet will make it on the screen. And me and Henry just constantly sent pictures of former NRL player Todd Carney doing a bubbler into his own mouth, right? Which any Southerners, to explain a bubbler, is when you piss in your own mouth. It's something they do in NRL. I can't go into the whole rules of the sport we just kept sending it, and for a second it got up on the screen. We were like, yes! Fuck you, Writers Guild! I then joined afterwards. I think my membership has lapsed. But then an amazing thing happened. One of the best things that happened to me in my professional life, another job. This was a great job. I got offered a job on Tonightly on the ABC, another ABC show, but this time a full-time job. A full-time, like, I'm an on-air... Tonightly was not unlike The Daily Show, right? It was an Australian version of The Daily Show. Well, it was unlike The Daily Show in the fact that no one watched it. But I was going to be an on-air reporter. I'm writing like sketches. I'm on air. Like I'm doing skits and riffing. Like I was one of the on-air talent. It was a big deal, and they put me on a salary of $100K a year. I'd never seen that much money in my life. I wish we'd made it to the full year, but like. I was excited. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "This is we're in fucking heaven, baby." But I'm living in Melbourne at the time, and the job would require me to relocate to Sydney. The problem is my partner, who I live with, who was studying to be a teacher, so she could support me later in life. But she was studying to be a teacher, right? And she was in her final year of uni. She's like, "I can't leave," and we got this dog. I love my dog so much. And we're like, she's like, "I can't move to Sydney." And I said, "All right, well, when you graduate, you can move up. Like, I'll have to move up for this job. We can't afford not to. It's a great job." But here's because I'm a fucking idiot as well. Like, when I'm asking about where's my fucking money, some of it is like jobs that have fucked me over, and some of it is me being a fucking idiot. Because I went, "Baby, I'm rich. I got that Annabelle Crab money. I'm fucking in. I'll pay rent in Sydney and in Melbourne. We'll be fine." I didn't know what else I could do. I had to relocate to Sydney to do this job. So I'm paying rent. I lived in a share house in Sydney. I'm paying rent there. I'm paying rent in Melbourne. That's eating up a huge chunk of the money. But still, it was good money and it was great. But then tragedy struck. I was scared because in the first month, I had to go to hospital, right? It wasn't a ball thing. My balls were good. It wasn't even funny. It was just I had an infection in my ankle. I don't know why. It wasn't gout. It's not gout. And I was in hospital on an antibiotic drip for like a week, right? And I was scared because while I was in hospital, I was new at this job. The bosses decided they were going to get another on-air reporter to replace me for the week or 2 weeks that I was away. And the person they got was a young new comedian called Aaron Chen. And judging by that, you know who Aaron Chen is. Another person who's doing quite well. At the time, he was very new. He was new, he was young, he was good, and I hadn't had a chance to groom him, right? I'm freaking out. I don't know what, I'm freaking out. I'm going to lose my job to Chenny. But here's the thing, because Aaron Chen is such a good comedian, they fucking hated him. Because at the ABC, they're like, "Oh, we can't have anything too good. Can't be too funny." But here's because Aaron is a cheeky little fellow, and he's very weird. He's very niche, He's not very niche. He fucking sells out big venues, but the ABC thought he was niche, and the bosses thought he was niche. All his ideas he had for sketches and stuff, where they were like, "Oh, it's too weird. The audiences won't get it. You don't understand how fucking dumb the Australian public are." That's my impression of a network executive. And They were like, "It's too weird." And in front of everyone, there was a meeting one day where they're like a pitch meeting where people are pitching ideas, and all the staff are there in front of everyone. One of the EPs, one of the bosses of the show, says to Aaron, he goes, "Aaron, your ideas are too weird. You need to pitch something a bit more evergreen. You need to pitch something a bit more broad, a bit more evergreen." And in front of everyone, Aaron just said, "Does evergreen mean unambitious?" He got shit canned and I got my job back. I love that guy. Then Tonightly got cancelled. Tonightly got cancelled. People say it was because I called a politician a cunt and there was a Senate estimates inquiry. But who can really know? The next year, year and a half, 2 years, I think, was quite bad, right? Because I had that money. I had money in the bank. Yes, I'd been paying rent in Sydney and in Melbourne, but I had money in the bank. I was like, okay, this is maybe I've got a career now. But like no work was coming up. I was like the savings were slowly draining, and then like we had this problem where in the apartment we were living in, the wall like a wall is supposed to be like that, right? And it kind of went like that, and the wall fell down, is what I'm saying, because it was rotten and filled with black mold. And it was just because like there's this thing in I don't know if there's any. Interstaters here, or it's really an Australian thing, I think. It's just like where it's because like landlords and property developers and real estate agents are all corrupt dogs that need to be. You know, like it's just this thing. It's just this thing in the industry where like they're all. So the wall fell down. We had to move out real quick. It cost tons of money. We had the removalists. It was man with a van or pretender. I don't know. I'd never worked there. I've never seen you guys before in my life. And then I spent heaps of money on bonding a new place and all this money, and then and also they withheld like most of our bond, and this is true because they found a bit of dust above the range hood, which was about to be torn out. The whole apartment was going to be gutted, and they took a photo of spider webs on the outside wall of the house. There's no joke there. Her name was Tennille. She works at Inner Urban Real Estate. So I had a bad time then. I was broke as hell. I did a festival show, a comedy festival show. I thought it was really good. People liked it. People came. I made about 10% of the money, because you don't make money doing those shows. Like I lost money really. At the end of the day, I lost money. But like things were going bad. I was like, I'm gonna have to like, and we ran out of money. I was gonna have to like go back on the dole or go get another job or something. And I mean that's fine. I'll do another fucking job, whatever. Things were going bad. And I was feeling really depressed. I'm like, man, something needs to fucking change. Something big needs to happen. Something needs to fucking change. And then the pandemic happened. My God, that was a dream. I loved it. I fucking loved the pandemic so much. It was so fucking good. I financially did quite well, because I got that fucking sweet JobKeeper money. That was better than any dole I've ever had in my life. It was better than yes, the pandemic was fucking shit, but so was every job I've ever had in my life. Like, the pandemic was better than working at Kmart. Like, at no point in the pandemic did I have to clean up a weird kid's shit. Like, yeah, I was lonely and isolated. We all felt lonely and isolated, but it was more the kind of isolation where, I was like standing on my kitchen counter, at 1 a.m, just really high on edibles, just with a stick of salami in my hand, dancing to the Sopranos theme song, just going, I'm the new Sopranos character, Tony Pepperoni. It was better than work. And the pandemic was such a fucking crazy time when I think back on it. Like, I remember, I remember at a certain point I went through a Red Rooster drive-through, right? Yes, there's a theme. Went through a Red Rooster drive-through, and this is actually true. I went through a Red Rooster drive-through because I already had KFC. And I prefer the Red Rooster gravy. They're like, the gravy man's here! Get his gravy! I'm like, give me my gravy! Oh, I imagine driving in a really old-timey car. Get me my gravy! And when I drove into the Red Rooster drive-thru, I remember seeing a printed out paper sign, and it said, it literally said, please do not deliberately cough or spit on our staff members. That's abuse. That's what the sign said. And evidently that had happened enough that the boss had gone, fire up the bubble jet. Like, we gotta let them know, right? We gotta, and that was the moment that I realised that the pandemic was over and we were back. That was the moment, because Because the pandemic was such a weird time where we as a society and all the conservatives in this country, for a little brief moment, pretended like they gave a shit about workers and their mental health and how hard it would be. They were like, oh no, workers, your mental health, you need to be back at work. And then as soon as the pandemic was over, they're like, all right, pandemic's over, get back in your fucking chicken hole and cook me some chicken while I spit in your face, you minimum wage fuck. You're lucky you're not a teacher or a nurse or we'd bash you. Because that's the thing that I fucking hated during that pandemic. Of course it was fucking hard. It was so fucking hard. But man, seeing like fucking conservatives and CEOs on the news going, we gotta open up, we gotta get back to work, people need it. They're like little rats. They need the stimulus. They fucking need, like, I know it was hard for workers and shit, of course it was, but like, I never saw a worker interviewed. Like, it was always some big business boy, some CEO asking about, like, talking about the toll on people's mental health. I never saw it, because if you saw a worker being interviewed, they'd be like, oh, look, the JobKeeper's pretty sick. Like, it's literally better than the pay at Kmart. Like, yeah, I feel isolated, but I'm not staring up at the ceiling fan every morning thinking, if I put my hand through that, would I get a day off work? The pandemic was the only time that you heard conservatives on the news saying the words mental health without prefacing it with, we need to cut funding too. Like, they're full of shit, man. They're full of shit. Like, where was their concern for my mental health back when I was working at Wow Sight and Sound the year that the Crazy Frog remix came out? That was worse than the pandemic. That was fucking hard. Just day in, day out of... My mind has not got right since. Where was their concern for my mental health when I worked in a warehouse as a picker-packer and there was this one guy who was obsessed with the movie Cheaper by the Dozen 2? And he'd always come up to me and go, hey man, can I show you one thing about the movie Cheaper by the Dozen 2? I'm like, no Kevin, get away, you smell like gravy. Where was your concern for my mental health that one summer that I was helping my uncles paint houses, and that one house that I was painting, every time the parents left the room, the brother and the sister of the house would start tongue kissing. It was happening, man. I'm out there painting the house, looking in through the window going, oh, nah, man. I don't know if I've got a duty of care here, or... Like, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but your kids are full kissing, eh? It's fucking hard out there. Working in the summer sun, watching the kids kiss. That's fucking hard yakka. That was the lamest thing I've ever done. Fucking yeah. Fuck you. But the pandemic was good. The pandemic was good for me. Like, at the end of the day, though, I was in a very privileged and very lucky position, because that's when I actually got more work as a writer and as a comedian, because there was like an ABC sketch show started up, and they were like, we want to hire you to be a writer on this sketch show because you've got so much experience on Tonight. And I'm like, hell yeah. And they're like, yeah, we're going to pay you like part-time, but you have to work full-time hours and you can't tell anyone. I'm like, yeah, this is not my first TV gig. I did a one-man play at the comedy festival right after the pandemic, and that won a bloody award. That was the third award I've won at the comedy festival. I didn't even have time to tell you about the second award. It was good, and I made like a little bit of money. Like, it was actually all right. And that was a play about being on the dole, which I know about. It was cool. So after I did that show, I got offered a ride. I'm always auditioning for shit, and I got a part. I got a part in a TV series called The Tourist, an international co-production with Jamie Dornan as the star. They flew me out all the way to Adelaide. I've Never been. It was beautiful. I was in Adelaide. I was in the show called The Tourist. Then The Tourist came out, and it was a hit in the UK. Not here, but it was a hit in the UK, which is bigger than here, so who gives a shit, right? It was good. It was a massive hit. And yes, on Twitter, everyone fucking hated me again, right? I'm used to that. But this time, it was good because my character was supposed to be hated. I was playing a character who was an arsehole. So that was good. It meant I was good at acting. And it was like, for example, right, there was a scene in the show. I was watching with my parents. I was up in Queensland at the time, and I was watching with my parents. There's a scene in the show where my character is making a coffee. This is a bit of a spoiler, but who cares? And another character holds a gun to the back of my head, right? Holds a gun to the back of my head. And on the actual day, it was a real gun. Like, it was a real Glock, and they have an armourer on set, like someone who's qualified. And he got the gun, and he sort of cocked it back and showed me the empty chamber and goes, "Are you happy with that?" And I went... Yeah? Honestly, I'd be happy either way. You know, either way, it's win-win for Geggy, you know what I mean? Whether get to be a big TV star or sweet release. But I was watching it with my dad. This guy's holding the gun to the back of my head, and my dad just goes, "Just fucking shoot him!" I said, "Do you mean me or the character?" And he's like, "I don't even know." Another beer, thank you. Tourist was awesome. That was really fun. I did another comedy festival show, got nominated for an award, didn't win, still looking into the judging process. A legal battle. It's dragging through the courts. I got a role in a Channel 7 sketch show that nearly was good, but then it wasn't. But who cares? They paid, and they paid me well. And then one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Genuinely, the height of my professional career. The Tourist came back for a season 2, and the writers of the show loved my character so much, and I was hated in such a good way that they decided to bring me back for the second season that was filming in Ireland. It was a way bigger part. They flew me to Ireland. They flew me to Dublin on Emirates business class. You don't even know. You don't even know. They've got shit we've never even heard about. It was fucking crazy. I'm not kidding. I was on one of the big planes, the A380s. I'm up the top in the fucking business class section. There is a bar on the plane. And I don't mean like a place where you can get drinks. I mean a room that you walk into, and there's lounges and couches and a bartender behind the bar going, "What'll you have?" And I sat at the stool on the bar and said, "I'll have an old fashioned because I'm a wanker." And I sat on a plane in the sky at the bar and drank a whiskey. And this is true. While I sat there, I read a socialist newspaper called Red Flag. And I'm flicking through the pages, and I'm thinking, suddenly, these words don't make any fucking sense. I'm looking at this going, "What the fuck are you on about? This is fucking sick! Get a job, you fucking hippies!" I get to Ireland, it's the best, it's so cool. I'm on set every day. I'm in the show way more in season 2. There's a whole scene where I'm on like a road trip with Jamie Dornan, and I was hanging out with him all the time, and the paparazzi were always following me around trying to take photos, and I'd try and stand in the photos. And I got in one photo in the Daily Mail. And it was pretty good money, and because with those shows, like most of the money, like the biggest chunk of your money comes from like when the show gets sold to different networks. So you get a chunk of money from that network, and the show sold to Netflix US, and that's a huge chunk of money. And they promise that one day I'll get it. Oh, please. And it was great. Like, it was great. It was an amazing time. I came back, and this was the thing. And this is the thing, right? I came back from doing season 2 of The Tourist. And I got a massively inflated ego while I was over there. I felt amazing. I felt like I'm a fucking star. People recognised me on the street because it was a big hit in the UK and in Ireland. I went to London, and I did a show over there, and like people actually came, and I was like, fuck, man, things are going well. And then when I came back to Australia, I went, that's it. I said to my agent, my producer and everything, I said, I want to do another festival show, big tour. I want to do a big tour. I want to do a new show. I want to do a full national tour, like Perth, Adelaide, Brisbane, Sydney, all the comedy festivals in Australia. I also want to do the Edinburgh Comedy Festival. I'd never done it before in my life. It's the biggest comedy festival in the world, or fringe festival, whatever. And I was like, I'm going to do this big tour, and I'm going to actually make some money. I want to make some money. Because when you do these festival shows, I don't know if it's like clear or not, but most of the time the artist is either not getting paid or getting paid fuck all, right? I've done shows where I get like 5% or whatever. You make fuck all money. But you do get money when you're big enough that you can pack rooms and get some serious numbers going, right? And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to try. I think if any time is my year, the Tourist coming out, this is the year. I wrote a show that I was really proud of. I thought it was the best show I'd ever done. I was so excited. My first leg of my tour was in Perth. I went to Perth, and a lot of people came, but I still lost money. And you look at the balance sheet and you're like, where did it all go? How did okay, fine, whatever. It's cool. It was a great show. I lost a bit of money. All right. I go to Adelaide. I do my show in Adelaide. No one came. I lost heaps of money. It was bad. It was a bad time in Adelaide. I was in this tiny little room. There was a heat wave going on. It was like a little hot box. There's like a 30-seater room and like 5 people a night were coming. And one night this guy farted in there. And it was so bad. I was just like, why are you doing this? Why are you wrecking my show? It was the fucking worst. I lost so much money in Adelaide. And then my fucking dad had a heart attack and I had to fly up to Queensland last minute to see him, and they fucking rip you off with the fucking last minute airfares. It costs so much money to get up there. I get to the hospital. It's not even a heart attack. It was just a heart thing, and he's fine. I thought I was going to get a house. So I do the show. I do like Adelaide, lose heaps of money. Perth, I lose money. Lost money like pretty much everywhere I did it except in Melbourne. But I only made, you make it, like you see the value, you see the gross, and then you look down at your share and you're like, how? The only reason people are here is to see me, and I'm getting the tiniest little portion. And I'm not bitter about it. And then and then it just came to a time when I was just broke again, right? I'm flat broke. And I was like, all right, all the fucking tourist money, that's all dried up. All the festivals, it was a financial failure. I'm not getting the money from Melbourne for a couple of months. I was due to go to Edinburgh. And Edinburgh was mostly all paid for, right? I'd paid for accommodation. I'd paid for all the venue hire and the fees and the fucking fees and the fees and the fees and the fees. And I paid for all that, but I hadn't paid for a plane ticket. And we were now a month and a half out. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to get to Edinburgh. I might just have to cancel Edinburgh. I was like, because the Paris Olympics were on, I was just seeing the airfares go up and up and up. A month and a half out, they're so fucking expensive. I'm like, I'm going to have to cancel. And then almost like magic, like on the day that I decided I'm going to have to cancel, I got a call from my agent, and she says, have you heard of a rum called Kraken Rum? And I went, no. And she goes, well, they want you to do a comedy show presented by Kraken called The Darkest Night in Comedy. And I was like, okay. And they said, they'll pay you $10,000. And I went, hell yeah. And man, it's a good rum. Oh, it goes down smooth. Unleash the Kraken. I love it. I actually love it. And I had 10 grand. Now I had 10 grand in my pocket. I can go to Edinburgh. I can fucking go. My problems are fucking solved. But here's the thing, because I'm an idiot, because there's piss in my brain. There's nothing but piss. There's no brain, there's just piss sloshing around. I'm a fucking moron, right? So I have this 10 grand in my pocket. I'm like, all right, I can buy my airfare to Edinburgh. I'm looking up the prices. They're fucking expensive because the Paris Olympics are on. It's a month and a half out. I'm seeing economy airfares for like 4 and 5 grand. Like I'm seeing like really expensive tickets. I'm like, well, fucking, I just have to pay for it. I have to pay for it because I've got, like, I have to go. I have to do it. Like, this is my big chance. This is my chance. I have to fucking take this chance. But then, because I'm a piss brain idiot, I saw all these airfares for like $4,000. And then I saw an airline that was on sale, a super special, that was much cheaper than it normally is for a business class ticket. It was more expensive than the economy ticket. It was $8,000, which is double $4,000. I looked it up. And I was suddenly going, hang on a second. Wait, my brain said, Greg, just think about this for just 1 second, right? Yes, it's more expensive, yes, but it's cheaper than it normally is. And if you think about it, you've flown business class before, you know you get a meal on the plane, you get the lounge access, that's a meal. You're saving $100 right there. Take $100. Take $100 off the tab. Let's do the maths. You can actually save money if you think about it. If you actually think about it, it's four journeys all up, right? Because it's a changeover. It's 4 journeys all up. You'll drink 20 beers per journey each on the plane. Easy. They're paying you to drink the beers at this point. You're a big guy. You have panic attacks. You can't sit in that seat for 36 hours. It'll be cruel to the people next to you. You've flown business class before. You can't go back. You're a comedian, and comedy is your business. This is a business trip. You've got $10,000. The business class ticket costs $8,000. That's $2,000 profit. So I bought the business class ticket. I really did. And I get to Edinburgh, my big break. This is my chance. I remember the first night. I was sitting backstage, and the show that I was doing that year had an intro video. And the intro video was a lot of pictures of the character Wario from the Mario Brothers with a big fat cock. Various pictures of Wario from the Mario Brothers with a big penis. And I would sit backstage at every show in Australia and it would kill. And I would sit there going, all right, I know I'm going to have a good night. Everyone's laughing before I've even walked on the stage. Opening night in Edinburgh, Wario's cock is on the screen. And I look through the gap in the curtain and there's like 10 people in the audience in total silence. Just sitting there in silence watching Wario's cock. Going like... And then one bald Englishman just goes, who's Wario then? I fucking bombed. I did Edinburgh. I did a whole month of Edinburgh. I did a bunch of shows. Some nights it actually sold out. At the end of the day, a lot of people came. It was fucking crazy, right? Because, and this is the thing, as I said, The Tourist was a hit in the UK. I got recognised daily on the street. They're like, are you that cunt from The Tourist? I'm like, yeah. They're like, fucking A! And I'm like, you want to come to my show? And they're like, fuck no! So I was getting recognised a lot, but no, also people did come, and the show was good, and it was really fun. I did 25 nights in Edinburgh, and at this point I'm not going to make a profit, I'm not going to make money, whatever. But, I sold like a bunch of tickets. At the end of the show, the gross sales, the gross amount of money that was spent on my show was around 15,000 Australian dollars. And the share that I got was $800. And that's a lot less than a business class ticket. And I came home. I came home from this. It was a huge financial failure. My tour was terrible. I mean, yes, I took a risk. I knew I took a risk. I knew I made some fucking bad decisions. But it's fucking frustrating to do all these shows when I was actually getting really good reviews, and there were so many nights that were completely sold out, yet still lost heaps of money. It starts to get frustrating, right? And so I just said, look, it's just not viable. Like, I have a producer and an agent. Like, there's all these people getting all this money. And I sat down. I had no problem with my agent, my producer. But I sat down with them and I said, look, I just can't do live shows anymore. Like, I just can't do it. It's not financially viable unless I do it myself. Like I said, you're the Emirates of agents. I need the Jetstar of agents. I need the Jetstar of producers, right? And we parted ways. And I found a man who was the Jetstar of agents. I found a guy. He was like, I want to represent you. I'm going to charge you way, way, way less. We're going to do great things together. It's going to be amazing. And he said, I promise you 2 things. He He said, I promise you 2 things. He said, I'm going to fund a comedy special and we're going to shoot it at the Melbourne Comedy Festival in 2025. That's this year, the comedy festival just gone. He said, we're going to do it in a big venue. He said, like, you should be having a special out there. We're going to sell it to Netflix. I'm going to fund it. We're going to pay for it. It's going to be a big special in a big venue. It's going to be the best. And I said, great. What's the second thing you promised me? And he said, I promise you that I'm not trading whilst insolvent. And he lied about both things. So he went broke. His business collapsed overnight. I don't know if he's a crook or an idiot or both. I don't know. But a lot of people lost a hell of a lot of money. A lot of comedians, a lot of artists. Luckily, I didn't lose any money because I hadn't had any work. So I was fine. But then, yeah, I had no work for ages, and then I was like doing odd, gigs here and there, and running out of money again. And then, like Christmas time, that's obviously a slow period of time, and then, no work for a while, gigs here and there, and then I went to a Macca's drive-through, and I tried to get 2 double quarter pounders and a 24 pack of nuggets, and then the guy said I had no money. And then I wrote this show, and then I came here. I think that's about all. I guess the point of this show is that I have depression. You know what I mean? Like, I got pretty bad. Like, I do have depression. I feel like everything I say is a bit coloured by that fact, right? Like, I did once put my hand through a ceiling fan to get a day off work. That's depression, baby. But in thinking, there is a coda to this, though. And that is that I did this show, I did a much shorter version of this show at the most recent Melbourne Comedy Festival, and I had no producer, I had no agent of any kind. I made no posters. I didn't do like a proper, festival venue. I just did a pub where I paid a guy like a small amount of money, and I made more than I'd made in the last 3 festivals combined. But things are fucking all right for Getty right now. But that's the thing, right? I think back to every job I've ever had, all the shit jobs I've ever had, all the good jobs I've ever had, all the comedy that I've done, the TV gigs, everything, right? I think about all of it. And I wonder where the fuck my fucking money went, right? And I know I'm an idiot. I know I'm a piss brain. I know I pissed a lot of it away. I know that. But I feel like there's a weird thing, right? It's just a weird thing, and it's not just in this industry, it's in every industry in this fucking country, in this fucking world right now, right? Where you just see there is money there, but where is it? Where is the money? Like, I don't understand how it is so fucking expensive for childcare in Australia. You have to get a second mortgage if you want to put your kid in daycare. Yet they don't have the money to do fucking background checks. They don't have the money to do a fucking piece of paper check if they're not a pedophile. And I've checked these pedophiles aren't driving Lamborghinis too. So the pedophiles aren't getting the money. Who's getting the money? Where's all the money going? Why do I see like news reports about farmers saying they're going to kill themselves, they're going to pack it in? Like, I saw a thing about a dairy farmer going, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. My whole business is going under. Yet my last blood test was 36% thickened cream. We're drinking milk and dairy by the fucking gallon. Why are dairy farmers struggling? Where's all the fucking money going? Why are Netflix executives flying around in private jets and driving Lamborghinis? I'm at the servo trying to pay for $19 worth of petrol with $18 in my account, going, oh man, Netflix US, it owes me like 10 grand. I was in a series called The Tourist. I'm on the Daily Mail. You can see. Where's the fucking money gone? I'll tell you where the money's gone. I know where the money's gone. It's gone to fucking rent. It's gone to my landlord. Most of my money has gone to landlords. Most businesses, small businesses, money goes to landlords, it goes to rent seekers, it goes to CEOs who've never worked a fucking day in their life, it goes to people like Elon Musk, the richest human being who's ever lived, who didn't create or build a single thing. He just got other people to do it because he was fucking rich. He was born rich with a sapphire mine because his dad played soggy sayo with all the other dads in apartheid South Africa. The money's gone to the leeches, the fucking rent seekers, the fucking dog shit capitalist cunts. But I shouldn't have bought the business class ticket. Like, I know that. I fucked up. I know I fucked up, and I shouldn't have bought the VR headset and the racing wheel. I don't even use it. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know where my fucking money's gone. It's some of it's pissed away. Who cares? I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe don't listen to me. Who cares? Thing is, I'm just an angry, bitter man, and you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself eating a fried rice at a Brisbane open mic. So I don't know if I know what I'm talking about. I don't even know if I'm good at comedy. If this job, maybe I am. Maybe this job is actually all right and I'm pretty good at it. I don't know. This could be an Emperor's New Clothes situation, though. I don't know if I'm good at it or if I've been up here for the last 15 years sucking Damien Power's dick. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know. There's one thing I know for certain in this world, and that is Luigi Mangione is a fucking hottie.